What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 13 of the Daily Dose podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Jackpack LLC, all organically grown cannabis, right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Memorial Day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Keep running the channel up. I appreciate all the support. Let's get right into it, guys. This weekend, we got some fights coming up. It's a free card again in the Apex. That's really the only fights we got going on. Got a bunch of current topics from last week to go over. Let's see what we got going on. So first, it's going to be Aaron Blanchfield versus Macy Barbers, the main event. You got Mateus Gamrot, Ludwig Klein, Dustin Jacoby, Bruno Lopez. And that's really about it. You got Caitlin Vieira, Trevin Giles. Overall, again, this is kind of one of those weaker cards at the Apex. I mean, I get it. They're just fulfilling contracts. They don't cost much as far as overhead. But, man, some of these are just boring, and it makes it hard to cover. So, I mean, of course, I'll watch them. I'll let y'all know how they went. But it doesn't seem like anything's going to blow your hair back. So let's get right into it. We got a bunch of current topics kind of all over the board, different things that went on this past week. We got some upcoming fight announcements. Michael Chandler versus Mauricio Rufy. He's one of those guys down at Fighting Nerds. Man, I think he's going to knock Michael Chandler right out of the UFC. You know, Chandler's prime pass, in my opinion, even in his best days, I never thought he could really compete at the UFC level. He's had some good fights. Overall, he's been taking some beatings. And yeah, I think Mauricio Rufy probably finishes him and retires him from MMA. So we'll see what happens there. Diego Lopez versus Jean Silva, the Hitman. Of course, one of Rufy's teammates down there at the Fight Nerds. Great fight. Big fan of both guys. Diego Lopez is always down to stand right in there and bang. I think ultimately that will be his downfall, and he'll probably get KO'd by Jean Silva. Man, the featherweight division is on fire, so I'll be curious to see kind of what happens to that next. Volk's looking good again, so kind of all good stuff for that division. Next, we got Darren Till versus Mike Perry. Now, this is in MMA. If it was BKFC, I'd go with Mike Perry. Being that it's MMA, I'm going to take Darren Till. Hopefully it actually happens. It's a random fight promotion, but they both confirmed it on their social media, so really hoping that one stays together. Renato, the Moneyman Moicano versus Beneil Dariush. This fight was supposed to happen on that Islam card when Renato stepped up and fought Islam instead. Now they're actually going to get it on. I feel like Renato Moicano is going to take that one. I think Beneil Dariush is a little too late in his career, kind of slowing down. Renato's got some momentum, although he's coming off that loss. He's still feeling himself. He's a personality, so I think Renato gets the job done. Merab Dvalishvili, I don't know if you guys follow him on social media. I don't know if he likes to make Dana mad, if he just wants to portray himself as an idiot. But recently he posted like a picture of his face cut from sparring. Yesterday I saw he posted his toe broken. Win or lose, that you just look like an idiot, especially if for some reason you lose. What if the fight got stopped from a cut or from the broken toe? You put it out there on your social media. Just looks stupid. Not a good idea. Pisses Dana off. I don't know what's wrong with him, buddy. Come on. Keep that shit to yourself. Alex Pereira. So I've been seeing some things that him and the UFC are kind of butting heads for whatever reason, kind of on when he wants to fight, whatever it may be. So definitely, as I said, his Twitter was not hacked. He was actually, having some disagreements with the UFC, said some stuff. Someone from his team was probably like, hey, man, take that down. You don't want to go down that road. Definitely, once you start calling him out and poking the bear, you're not going to get the same treatment. So just as most celebrities, athletes, whatever, usually their stuff isn't hacked. When they say something stupid that they regret, that's kind of a way to get out of it. So we'll see what happens there. John Jones, will he actually fight? It's interesting. He's saying that the UFC already knows his plans, meaning that maybe he's going to fight later in the year. A lot of people are saying it's been too long. He's never going to fight again. I've heard that behind the scenes, they're willing to pay him the money that he wants. So if for some reason this fight doesn't happen later in the year, then yes, he's probably ready to call it. What a lot of people don't realize is that John Jones, by no means does he need this fight, right? Like, he's already can ride off into the sunset. If the UFC pays him and he doesn't want to fight, he's truly ready to call it. But as far as stripping him, guys, if someone is to be stripped from the UFC, that means they don't plan or they haven't defended their belt in a year's time. I believe John fought last November, so that means he would have up until this November to defend or plan to defend his belt. So it's too early to strip him as much as you dorks want that. Oh, he's not fighting. John Jones is the GOAT, hate it or love it. If he already has something coming up later in the year, if the UFC is willing to pay him, you're going to get the fight versus Tom Aspinall. He'll finish him and then right off into the sunset. So relax, guys. You're going to get it. Now, Conor McGregor, on the other hand, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, this guy's been quiet. Now, that tells me two things. First of all, he's probably retired for sure, right? He's not calling people out. He's not putting his name out there. He's not doing any of the stuff he used to. But also, it really shows how boring a lot of these fights are. Even Conor, he was always an Apex card, whatever it may be. If they were entertaining, he was calling someone out. He was commenting on it. He's no longer doing that, So that shows me that, yes, he's probably retired for sure, doesn't, necessarily care about it. But he's also not enticed, or there's nothing that's exciting him in any way. So interesting. I was just thinking about it. I thought I'd bring it up. Now we're going to kind of go over some different current topics, things I've been seeing. What in the CTE is wrong with Antonio Brown? Now, I saw he was at some type of Aiden Ross event or concert, something like that in Florida. He had an interaction where some people were trying to jump him, take his jewelry. Next thing you know, he's shooting at them as they're running away. And it's like, I get it, dog. You want your get back, whatever it may be. You're now shooting into a crowd full of people, probably high or drunk, over some dumb jewelry. People just don't think. But it's like, bro, you know how many people's lives you put in danger by doing that? He's lucky as in Florida. He got away. There's no case. There's no charges. But that's seriously stupid, and it's sad. He really did have some talent. He really can be smart, but he's also kind of like Kanye in a sense. He's just a nutcase. I've been seeing, and it's been happening a lot over the last year and a half, a lot of people go to Mexico with 10, 20, 30 grand cash and think they're going to find the plug. Guys, you are not Big Meech. So let's just get that right out of the way. Sadly, a lot of people are losing their lives and being put in horrible situations by doing this. There is no way you can randomly go to Mexico with 20 grand and try and find a plug and not expect to get killed. Don't do that to your family. Don't do that to your friends. You guys are not Big Meech. I get it. You're watching stars. You're getting all hyped up. You're smoking your blunt. It does not work like that, guys. Does not work like that. You got to know somebody. You got to be in the circle. Please don't do that, okay? Old dudes calling younger dudes big bro because they got money. I don't know what is wrong with y'all. I see videos like this on the internet. You see an OG 50 years old talking to a 19-year-old. Hey, big bro, let me hold something. Let me touch something. That is the goofiest shit in the world. By no means should you ever call somebody younger than you big bro just because they got money. Some of y'all old heads making yourself look so damn embarrassing. I had to address that. If you guys haven't seen the video, I think it was last week or the week before, the Timberwolves game, the Jumbotron thing was going around, catching fans' interactions. And Buddy was taking a bump. He was ripping one, eyes wide open. I was like, bro, what a perfect time to be caught on the Jumbotron. It was absolutely hilarious. So if you haven't seen it, I'd go check it out. Look it up. It was super funny. I was watching this clip the other day, and it was Ice Cube's son was on an interview. They were listening to some music. They were talking about his pops. They started jamming. Today was a good day. And when it started talking about the sexual part, the interviewer stopped and was like, damn, dog, this song is about your mom. It was the funniest, wild stuff to say. Now, of course, he stood up. He kind of, pretended to be mad. He was kind of joking, but I'm sure deep down he was probably like, F you, dog. But in that moment, that was so funny. I was like, man, sometimes in the right thing to say in the right time, playful joke, super hilarious. Check out the clip if you haven't seen it. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this prison break in New Orleans. It was like damn Hunger Games in real life. One of the dudes was the janitor, cut the water off so they could remove the toilet, jump out the prison. I think a couple, maybe 1, 2 are left. It's just crazy. What a story. Obviously, nothing's going on in the world every day. People are just seeing who's getting caught, who's getting this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretty dumb. Especially one of the guys I saw only had a couple months left. Like, dog, what are you doing? Now you're going to get a couple years. So I never got that. If you're already doing the time, dog, do it, rock it out. Only thing that's going to happen, they're going to catch you and you got to do more time. But hey, to each his own. I just thought it was pretty funny. So I think it was last week I was talking about Vitaly. He's currently in prison facing charges in the Philippines. Well, he doesn't seem to listen or learn from his previous mistakes. It was reported that he is in critical condition. He was messing with some gang members, whatever it may be. He got in an altercation in the prison, and yeah, it's not looking good for him. So he's in critical condition. He got beat pretty bad. Hopefully he bounces back from it, but you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Now, allegedly, I want to read this because I want to see it. Allegedly, let me see here. Something with the Tory Lanez case. I wanted to read it. So, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna claims there's unreleased ring camera footage proving Tory Lanez didn't shoot Megan Thee Stallion. What in the world, guys? If this is true, shame on her. How dare you been holding this ring camera footage that you knew would set this guy free? What, you felt bad now that he got stabbed 14 times? I mean, that is just insane. That's sickening. That is wrong. They need to get this out and get that man out of there. That is just crazy. I don't even know what to say. That really blows my mind. So I told you guys I'd update you on the Diddy trial. Been watching it, of course. Your average freak story weirdo. Everybody knows about that. This dude blew up Kid Cudi's car. Who does he think he's Batman or something? Or I think he Frank Lucas? He blew up Buddy's car, and then Kid Cudi is just whining about it, hoping man, I would have beat the shit out of him. I don't care who you are. You blow up my car, buddy. We're going to have problems. We ain't going to be talking about nothing when I see you. So, very interesting. I'm not sure who everybody feels or think Diddy is, but we all human. You play with me, just know something's coming back your way. So, very interesting, though. As it's going on, I think he's probably going away for a long time, but we shall see. Now, something that came up in my own city the other day, a young girl, I think she was like 9. I don't even know how. I didn't see no videos. I kind of read the details, but basically this like drug guy was freaking out, broke a bottle, slashed her with it, all this stuff. And the only reason I bring it up is to say shame on every dude that was in that building. Because I could tell you this, if I was in that building, that would never happen. So the main thing I'm trying to say is men need to be men again and intervene when a woman or a child is in danger. You step up. If I saw some dude acting erratic and crazy toward a 9-year-old, if I don't have my strap on me, then I'm going to strangle the life out of Buddy. I'm going to take his back and strangle the life out of him. That shit is crazy. Y'all need to stop doing that. We should be there to hold it down when it need be. Women and children should always be safe if there is a man in the vicinity. I don't care if you get whooped. I don't care if you get hurt. That is your duty. So I just wanted to address that because that was something that was bothering me. So the message of the week, of course, this is going to be my segment I'm really trying to push and get out there. So message of the week, creating a life you don't have to escape from. Don't be just waiting for that vacation. Don't be just waiting for the weekend. Build a life and a foundation, your work, your passion, chasing your dream, whatever stage you're at. Just because you're working a job and it's maybe not what you want or where you want to be, believe in the vision and the extra work you're putting in so you don't have to constantly escape it with drugs, with vacation, whatever it may be. Create a life you don't have to escape from, and that'll change a lot of things in your life. You'll wake up feeling better. You'll knock the days out better. You'll be more motivated. You'll be more inspired, and it'll make things a lot easier. Kind of a different episode this week. Didn't really have much fights to cover. I'll watch them and break down the fights this weekend, but like I said, reading them, a lot of fighters you don't really notice. Nothing that's really going to blow your hair back. No disrespect to the fighters on there. So the following week, we finally got a good pay-per-view. A ton of current topics to go over. Wide different range of stuff. I truly appreciate all the support, guys. Keep running it up. Like, subscribe, and share. That was episode 13 of the Daily Dose podcast. Thank you, guys.